Up next, we're joined by Dan and Mathieu from Barco, one of AVIXA TV's generous sponsors at ISE 2025. So a huge thank you guys for sitting down with us today. How are you doing?
Our absolute pleasure. Aside from being tired, feeling great.
Nobody gets tired at ISE.
That's not a thing, sure. So let's start off by talking about this incredible screen that you've generously provided for our studio today. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, so happy to be here, happy to sponsor these two LED walls we have here. This is our TruePix platform. We have a 4K TruePix 0.9 pixel pitch here, and then on the other side we have a 1.2, which is an HD resolution. Looking at this, I mean, this is an LED screen. A lot of people say it's perfect because it's seamless, but Dan and I walked up here in hall 8, so we crossed all the halls and we saw a lot of LED screens that do have seams. So not every seams is a thing still in LED world. So that's the first thing that we provide at Barco, that's our mechanical alignment. The second thing is what we call steady view. Steady view reduces our eye fatigue, so instead of having all these lines coming up, we break them up into pieces, which we make sure that our eye is not looking for patterns and also therefore reduces eye fatigue. And then last but not least, this is just a set, a top 3, let's say, of features I picked out, but we also have a high level of redundancy. So if one of these fails, let's say, or the data feed fails, then another data feed will take over and it will make sure that your wall picks up again very fast and you have a full redundant system.
Good stuff.
Wonderful. All of those features have really helped elevate our show, and it makes us look really good on the screen. So thank you for incorporating all of that. Now, Barco has long been recognized for its innovative approach to product design. What makes Barco so unique in terms of how you design products with a specific use in mind?
Yeah. So basically, looking at this, and if you also look at the features I just mentioned, all of these have a common denominator, and that's business criticality. So we design our products for business criticality, whether that is in control rooms. Remember the redundancy, the eye fatigue, because you're looking a lot of the time, you spend a lot of time looking at the video wall. We have something like this where we have a backdrop or broadcast, also business critical, with something like steady view, redundancy, and all the other features we have. And then last but not least is everything workplace related, like lobbies or auditoria where you want to wow your visitor or employees. So that's always with a business critical mindset that we develop our products.
Absolutely. And Dan, as you're here, we may as well talk to you as well.
Sure, thank you.
I know you keep a keen eye on industry trends. What are you seeing on the control room operator experience side of things at the moment?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, control rooms start and stop with the operator. So I think what we're seeing is the operator themselves are they're being asked to do more. So workflows are becoming more complex. The data points is becoming just more proliferation of cameras and other sources that are coming in. The emotional and physical stress, the level of threats that they're dealing with on a regular basis. So we're starting to see the operators, still central to that location of that room, but becoming more and more in need of services, support. Duty of care becomes important, which sounds really weird for AV manufacturers and integrators to talk about duty of care of individuals in a space, but realistically, that's becoming a growing demand in the arena of operators and control rooms.
For sure.
Absolutely, and going off of duty of care, we couldn't have a conversation about technology without addressing cybersecurity. So I will send the first question to you, Dan. So why is it crucial that we can continue to emphasize cybersecurity in today's rapidly evolving challenges and tech landscape?
Yeah, I think the AV world has been saying we're AVIT for many, many years. However, we are truly business critical, to use Mathieu's term, and mission critical. Cybersecurity is a big part of that, right? Our devices are living on an OT or an IT network where any vulnerability can take down or impair the ability for that organization to perform operations. So we have a duty of care, I talked earlier about to the operators in the room, but also to the organization to have safe products, to have secure products, to have resilient products. That's actually not necessarily a new thing, but we as an industry need to have a fresh perspective and importance and reliance on that. We need to be good stewards of the technology we're putting onto our clients' networks.
Absolutely. And then to Mathieu, how does Barco approach cybersecurity both in terms of product design and the necessary certifications to ensure protection of its users?
Yep. When we look at security, we look at it from two angles. So the first angle is what we call the process angle. That's all about how does Barco deal with this in the software development cycle, when vulnerabilities come in, pen testing that we do, and so on. All of that is captured in our processes within Barco, and the certification we have there is the ISO 27001. It's a familiar certification in the industry. Next to that, we have product certification. Everything around that is related around the product. I'm talking encryption levels and the likes, the permissions you need to get into your product and so on. So those are the two things that you need to combine, and that's how we look at it. Next to that, as an example, we have regulations also coming to us. Especially in the EU, we have something like a NIS2 directive. The NIS2 directive states that critical infrastructure will have to pay attention to supply chain security.
Okay.
So if you have an energy and utilities company, there's a lot of applications, hardware, software that they use. All of those need to comply to that specific directive.
Okay.
What we do as Barco is we look at the full chain of that. So we actually supply the content management, which is our Barco control platform. So that's the content to get on the LED screens. And then we have LED screens as you see them here. What makes us special or unique is that we have the full chain under our brand, also under our processes I just talked about, also on the product side. So basically we have the secure chain all the way up from the network to the pixel.
Wow.
And that's what sets us apart.
That's
Good
very
stuff.
impressive.
Dan, in the conversations that we've had before this, I know that you wanted to highlight the fact that ISE hosts a control room summit. Why do you think that's important to our industry?
I think focus on the control room market in the Pro AV space is critically important. It's one of those 8 buckets of importance for AVIXA. ISE has been hosting the Control Room Summit for multiple years with our friends from the International Critical Control Room Alliance, ICRA. I think focus on this niche market, best practices, networking within the industry, seeing what peers are doing. I think all of that is really important because, again, going back to the earlier words, not to harp on it, but duty of care is really important. Mission critical is a very overused phrase out there in just about every world, but truly speaking, these control rooms are mission critical. If they don't work the way they're supposed to be, bad things can happen. So I think having a community of people led by ISE, led by AVIXA, that focuses on that market is nothing but helping to raise all tides.
Absolutely. Now, one question that may not be ISE focused. I know the Super Bowl is coming up. I heard that you're from Philly?
I am from Philly. Go Birds.
Go Birds. All right, just checking. Are you going to be staying up to watch it? And if so, do you have a team?
No. I watch football and basketball. That's my
different
those are my
football.
games.
Okay, different kind
Soccer,
of football.
sorry.
The original
Soccer.
football. Yeah.
Thank you, Ben.
If you
I
say
agree.
so. Wonderful.
So yeah, I mean, but also on the, I know that Barco are quite focused on the market intelligence side of things. Can you tell us more about your most recent research?
Yeah, so it's one of the reasons that, again, we're kind of very much aligned with AVIXA. Barco really provides the world's only operator level research. So we polled about 2,000 operators, a little over 2,000 operators, from all kinds of different vertical markets, all kinds of different regional markets, and asked them a ton of questions, just like Sean and the team do here with your own resellers and community. And we aggregate all that data, and I really want to hit 2 points which I think are important for the AVIXA community, the ISE community to understand. One is, and this is a shocking number, but up to 50% of control room professionals are looking to leave their job in the next 6 months.
Wow.
That's an incredible statistic, especially when you think that it takes on average anywhere from 4 weeks to 3 months to train somebody new. It's a revolving door. Turnover is the #1 problem of operations managers in these control room environments. And you would say, great, Dan, that's awesome. We sell technology. But the second data point I want to share with you is that of that same body of, that's the same people that we researched and we asked this question to, 91% of them, their job satisfaction goes through the roof when they are working in a highly efficient control room. Mm-hmm. So we as technologists, with the right deployment of the technology, with the right service and support, can actually help to resolve the #1 non-technical problem in a control room environment, which is the operators themselves. Comes back around to that duty of care. Mm-hmm. We as technologists have a play.
Well, that's the theme of this interview, I think.
There you go, duty of care. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much indeed for sitting down with us. All the best for the show, and hopefully you get back in time for the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Best of luck.
Cheers and thank you.
Rooting for
you.
Thank you very much.